What? I said, are you ready? Yeah! Get stealing, woo, wheeling, dealing, the cream of the crop. Nobody does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. Too sweet to be sour.
This is going to be a slobber knocker. Welcome to The Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to The Grill Out, episode 18. I am your host, Jeff Petty. Trailer Park Jeff Petty, Hollywood Jeff Petty, whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me mean things. Joining me is both of my illustrious and sometimes chaotic co-host. Number one, or just the one off to my right, Josh Cole.
The reigning, defending GOP champion.
Grill Out Predictions champion.
Yes. Yes, that is what that means.
Grill Out Predictions champion. Yep, we're going to go with that. We're going to try to trademark that, and we're going to be talking about trademarking soon enough. And my other co-host is the one and only Jason, still debating on if we like him or not, Lykens.
You know, it's funny because you were talking about trademark and how we were going to talk about trademark later, and that's a nice segue for it. And I still don't like segues because I fell off of a segue once.
Mm.
How did you fall off a Segway? That's what I really want to know.
It's what you want to know? I'll tell you how I fell off of it. I was searching for clues when I was in the deepest parts of Cuba. That's right. Last time I was down in the Congo. This time I was down in Cuba. It's been a week. I had time. I had a little bit of extra cash to take a trip, so I went down to Cuba. I was looking for Fidel Castro, and you know where he is?
Where is he?
Hiding out with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, and the baddie has joined us.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The first story segment, TNA partners with Endeavor.
That's a bit of a news story there.
It is a bit of a news story.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to hear more about it.
Yes, we are going to do that.
Then tell me, podcast boy.
The Wrestling Observer newsletter reported, quote, TNA Wrestling and Endeavor Streaming have reached a multi-year deal for Endeavor Streaming to power the TNA Plus app. It launches on Friday, January 5th. There will be two price tiers for the service. The special attraction tier is priced at $9.99 per month or $95.99 per year and includes access to the full TNA/Impact Wrestling library and every TNA Plus special event. The World Championship tier is priced at $219.99 per year and includes those benefits as well as TNA's 4 major annual pay-per-views. So, that I did not see that coming at all. I don't know if anybody saw that coming. It just kind of
shocker didn't.
No, it really. It just came out of left field, pretty much. I did not have this on my 2023 bingo card, but then again, this entire year, as far as wrestling goes, has been kind of wild.
Well, isn't Endeavor the same company that did the WWE network?
Yes.
Yeah.
They
bought WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're the ones that bought WWE and UFC and have them.
Yeah, they are the parent company.
Yes.
Okay.
And from my understanding, this doesn't mean that TNA is under that umbrella now. They're just using their services.
Yeah, WWE's technically under TKO, under Endeavor.
Yes. Yeah. So they're sort of they're close, but there's still some distance in between the two entities.
But it does bring up an interesting question, like when this deal with NBC on Peacock expires in 2026, does WWE go to Endeavor Streaming, or do they just renegotiate for Peacock?
That would be an interesting thing, and I think that would depend on where Monday Night Raw is going to land.
Yeah.
Because we still do not know where Raw is going to be, because their TV contract is up next year, correct?
Sure.
I think so. I'm almost positive. There's a lot of things coming up contract-wise next year, which we'll get more into that later on. But yeah, so TNA is going to partner with Endeavor Streaming Service, who, sort of owns WWE, and they're going to have TNA Plus there. And speaking of WWE, segue, I know you don't like them, but
Nope.
I like them. WWE to slow down
You
on
can't
house
read
shows.
podcast, boy.
I can't read.
You can't slow the TNA.
You can't slow down with TNA. But WWE is looking to slow down on house shows. WrestleNomics reported that Shapiro, I think he is he's one of the high ups with them. I don't have his first name on here. Spoke at the UBS. What is it? Mark Shapiro. He spoke at the UBS media conference where he stated that the company is looking to cut back on house shows. Shapiro called it margin perspective to run these types of shows, although house shows can be a good way to expand the audience. Shapiro pointed out that they may not be the most cost-effective option. He states, and this is a quote from him, while there's a reason to have them because it's good for the brand, we're building an audience. We're putting them on in C and D counties, so we're really stretching the brand and we're amassing a greater array of eyeballs from all demos. So it's good for our long-term growth. Through a margin perspective, they are dilutive. So there's probably an opportunity as we go through our efficiencies and our synergy opportunities to cut back on some of those non-televised events, which will push our margin up. So we are going through that exercise now.
So you know what I see happening? They're not coming back to West Virginia.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was reading this, because basically that is corporate jargon for this cost us too much money. We're not going to do it no more.
Yep.
But I will say on the bright side of things, it sounds like they're going to cut back on dates, and it's going to help WWE wrestlers.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, I have no issue with them cutting back and letting wrestlers actually have time off.
Exactly. And it seems like also besides like the PLEs, like they're not going to do house shows on weekends anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they may just be, unless there's a PLE on the weekend, wrestlers in WWE are only going to be working from Monday to Friday, I guess, because they had Tuesday and Wednesday off. Is that what it was for years?
Well, I know recently it's been Friday through Monday, maybe Tuesday, and then they've had the other days off.
Okay. Well,
since COVID, they came back from COVID.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's exactly how I read that, was that they're not coming back to the Charleston Coliseum.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. We could be wrong on this podcast, but
the Coliseum or the Mountain Health Arena.
Yeah. Now maybe they don't do it at the Mountain Health Arena anymore, and they just do it at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're only going to do one in the state of West Virginia just so we kind of tap that market real quick and get out. But I don't. Yeah. I don't know. Time will tell, but it does seem like that they are going to. They're definitely going to be cutting back on house shows, which. With all of this merger stuff, this isn't really this is not unexpected, is what I'm saying.
No,
not at all. And be cutting back on cost measures. They are set to discontinue DVDs. Wrestling,
and Blu-rays.
What is it?
And Blu-rays.
WrestlingDVDNetwork.com has reported that WWE will stop producing DVDs and Blu-rays at the end of 2023. WWE initially looked set to stop producing physical media at the end of 2021, but at last minute had a change of heart, meant the home video division continued for another 2 years. The final WWE home video release in the United States will be Survivor Series 2023 on December 26th. The cutoff means that CM Punk's WWE return will not be available in the United Kingdom and Europe on physical media.
That's because Crown Jewel is their last one. I read that.
Oh, what? Okay.
Crown Jewel will be their last one while we get the Survivor Series.
Okay, yeah, because they've already cut off on the physical media, and that comes from Cultaholic. I was actually curious when I was reading this, because the three of us are around the same age, and I've talked to other people around our age about this whole getting rid of physical media. Okay. What is it? What's y'all's take on this? I'll say this for me. I'm going to sound like an old man. I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather have the physical copy in my hand.
I don't know. Like with having a whole subscription library, I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me.
True.
There are some things I prefer to physical media, but having every WWE pay-per-view, whatever, on physical media, I don't care about that.
No, I understand it from that point of view.
I think the last pay-per-view that I had on a DVD was Cyber Sunday, when Ric Flair and Roddy Piper won the tag team titles.
Was that 07?
I think so. So it's rather old. Now, in regard to the best of things, like with Randy Savage and Bret Hart and stuff, I think it's great to have that on a physical copy. But do you know how WWE actually got into the home video market?
No.
So
do tell.
The original owner under the WWF at the time was Bruce Pritchard.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he got it was he had seen this video that a guy had done of best of Hulk Hogan matches. And it had 2 matches on there, back to back, Hogan versus Harley Race, 2 years apart. And if you watch the matches, move for move, spot for spot, it is the same exact match. And so Bruce was like, how could you even do this? How could you watch this and not notice it? So he bought it off of the guy, and then that's how it happened. It was under Bruce Pritchard.
I mean, it's been a big market for them for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I have at my house right now a box and a couple of cabinets full of wrestling DVDs, and not just WWE wrestling DVDs. I have other ones in there. I have stuff from Pro Wrestling Tees, those type of DVDs. I have a Kenny Omega interview from before he even went to New Japan. I bought that off of I want to say Amazon, but anyway, yeah, I understand. I don't want to have every single type of media in my possession, but I don't know. I guess I'm a little old school and grew up rather poor. When the internet goes off and I want to watch something, I ain't got to sit there and wonder and, whatever. I can just grab a DVD and pop it into my PlayStation or whatever, and I have it right there in front of me.
Well, I can also tell you, me personally, when the internet goes out and I go to watch something on DVD, I'm not picking wrestling.
Yeah.
True.
That's just me. I love wrestling.
Unless it's a documentary, but I'm not going to watch a pay-per-view on its own.
It's one of those things that it's weird because it's if I watch a movie and then I'm like, hey, I really want to watch this movie, I know the outcome of the movie. Mm-hmm. I know the plot points. I know what's happening in the movie. But after I watch a pay-per-view, I never really have the urge to be like, you know what? I want to watch that pay-per-view again. Mm-hmm. I have never watched the Cyber Sunday DVD. It's still in its package because
it's still got the plastic wrap, the cellophane around it. Wow.
Yeah, it has never been opened. And the person who bought it for me asked me, they were like, "Have you watched it yet?" I was like, "No." Well, why not? I bought it for you. I was like, because I know the outcome of all the matches. I remember all of them, so I don't. It's I'll watch it once I forget it. So maybe in another 20 years, I'll see this and be like, Cyber Sunday, what on earth was that?
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I don't, like I said, I feel like I'm old school. Plus, what was it? Was it on PlayStation where people had bought a digital copy of like they bought some games off of some publisher, and said publisher is pulling them off of.
Sorta. It's not the games. It's the video library.
Okay.
Discovery, I think. They're pulling all their video library from the premium tier of PlayStation Plus. So people who bought those movies, they're going to get them taken away, basically.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, I'm not a fan of that. If I pay money for a digital copy, I should still have said digital copy, which is also another thing with consoles now. If you have a digital copy of something, 9 times out of 10 you cannot play it unless it's hooked up online.
Yeah.
You can't. I don't know. I sound like an old person right now, but
well, I mean, you can always go outside and yell at some clouds.
I could, but if you can't tell already with my voice and this time of year, I'm just going to strain my voice even more.
I will say that the thing that makes me sad about this is I remember whenever my brother and I were in elementary school, and our uncle would take us to the VHS movie rental place in Whitesville. We would go there, and we would always get like a wrestling VHS, even though we had seen it. I don't know how many times, but we would always get like WrestleMania 1 or WrestleMania 3 or the 92 Rumble, and we would always watch it on VHS. And so, I mean, that kind of makes me sad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know, I don't know if it's going to really break the bank for them to not make DVDs anymore.
Yeah, I would imagine that have cut back on that in recent years, so it may just be to the point to where they're like, this is just unnecessary to even have, and they're just going to cut it all together.
Now, is this just going to be the pay-per-views, or will we not get any more hard copies of the Marine 12?
No, we're not going to get the Marine 12 in hard copy. No.
Okay.
You might have to find somebody to burn you a copy of it,
Okay.
and then sell it behind an old drugstore.
Yeah.
But other than that, you're not going. I don't think you're going.
Do you think it's what Mrs. Dad does? He's like, y'all gotta see my kid in the Marine 25. He's 82 now. Let me burn this VHS and I'll sell it to you out behind the fruit.
To which, okay, I'll say real quick with the Marine, when it was John Cena, I could believe it.
Yeah, the one time.
Yeah, the one time John Cena, I could believe it. The Miz, I have never once looked at the Miz and was like, you know what, that's a Marine.
Yeah.
Like, there's no...
I've never seen any of his Marine movies.
No, I don't ever plan on it either. I want to watch a Miz movie about as much as I want to watch a Triple H movie besides Blade.
What about like the Chaperone? You don't want to?
No, I'm good.
You don't want to watch that?
No.
I'm pretty sure the way that Triple H hides the kid in the Chaperone puts her up his nose. And she's just in there hanging out.
Slightly off topic, but also on topic of DVDs. I'm surprised DVDs have still lasted this long.
That's true.
Like, why do we still have them? We have Blu Rays now, which are much better.
And Blu Rays have been out for years.
Yeah, actually coming up here in 2026. Yeah.
Oh, man. I feel old.
Yeah.
I feel old. Wow. Okay.
Listen, old would be having like a copy of The Road Warrior on Laserdisc.
You know who has a copy
Yes.
of Road Warrior on
Yes.
Laserdisc?
On Laserdisc, on VHS, on DVD, and on Blu-ray.
What about 4K Blu-ray?
What's that?
What about 4K Blu-ray, Ultra HD?
I'm not sure because I have not talked to this individual in a few years.
He may also have it on Betamax.
I wouldn't doubt that, honestly, because how many copies on VHS did we find? It was like 3 copies on VHS. He had the soundtrack as well.
Anybody that's listening to this and went to West Virginia State is going to immediately know who we're talking about.
And we're talking about this purely out of love. Like there is no disrespect at all. Because watching this in his class, if you watched the movie, you really missed the show. Yeah. The show was watching him as he, no joke, would recite the movie word for word.
Just to let the audience in a tiny bit on this, there was a certain film professor that we all had. I don't know, Josh, did you have him?
I didn't take film.
I didn't have to. Okay, yeah, he didn't have to. Jason and I were in there. He how many film classes did he teach? He taught like 3 or 4 different ones. I know he had international film appreciation.
I mean, he also taught more prior to when we were there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, he taught a few different film classes, and it did not matter which class it was. He always played Mad Max 2 Road Warrior.
I've probably seen that guy around when I was down there.
Oh, you definitely did. We were over in it was Davis, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Davis 103.
Yeah. We were over in Davis. He that's where he taught. So it did not matter the class. and no matter the class, it was always Mad Max 2.
I had a buddy who took his documentary class.
Did he have Mad Max?
Yes. It was the first movie he showed. And I think it was just The Road Warrior, which is the first one.
Okay. Oh, that was Mad Max 2 they used. I don't know. So to go from, just to wrap this up because we're running short on this segment. Just to not to bring the mood down a little bit, but just to give a quick background to what we're getting ready to talk about. This past week, it was reported that Jey Uso and WWE could not use the YEET.
No more YEET.
Yeah, they could not use the YEET phrase. They couldn't sell merchandise for it, so they've been pulling merchandise and stuff. The reason is because a certain local professional wrestler here in West Virginia, Huff Manley, I'm going to call him by his ring name, not by his real name, which is what everybody else was reporting. Huff Manley owns the copyright to the word YEET. Now, I've been going to local shows since about 2018. He has been using YEET since then. So that's telling me that he was using it before that. He copyrighted it in 2021, which was smart. I don't know if this is the reason why. This is pure speculation at this point, but he does have a shop on Pro Wrestling Tees. Copywriting the word YEET, which was his main gimmick, that is, to me, very smart to do. Mm-hmm. In this day and age, it's smart to copyright certain things for this exact reason. So that was reported that WWE couldn't use it. It got to the point to where online wrestling fans harassed him so much that his social medias were brought down. I don't know Huff Manley personally. I've seen him wrestle. I enjoy his matches. The few times I've had interactions with him, I've always enjoyed talking to him. He is a good guy. He's a good person. He's a good wrestler. You could tell he's got a lot of heart for it. And the mere fact that he had to deactivate his social media accounts because of some internet, I'm just going to say it, internet marks harassing him online is honestly despicable, and I can't say everything that I want to on the air. I will just leave it at that. I think, I do think it is completely despicable. I went through some of the comment sections. People on there saying that this is the closest you'll ever be to WWE, saying that you need to just give up the YEET trademark. You need to give it to Jey. You need to give it to WWE. To those people, I will say at least Huff Manley had the guts, and I know I threw this one on Facebook as well. I went off on Facebook about it. At least Huff Manley had the guts to step into the ring and pursue his dream of being a professional wrestler. Whereas the rest of you are deciding that it's a wonderful idea to harass this person behind a keyboard, which is kind of commonplace in our current society. And if Huff Manley is listening to this, I just want to say, I'm not speaking on them. Just know that us here at the podcast are behind you. We do show our support towards you. You had every right to copyright that. And the mere fact that WWE, a multi-billion-dollar company, did not take the time to check and see if the word YEET, which is a very common phrase, the fact that they did not check to make sure it was copyrighted is pure laziness. And there's no excuse for it. None.
Here's my thing, okay?
And I'm going to leave it there.
So
y'all can go.
You have all these people upset about a word.
Yes.
Okay. That an indie wrestler had copywritten.
Yeah.
So you have this multi-billion-dollar corporation that hires professional writers to come up with ideas. So you have all of these professional idea makers who can't think of another word.
Yep. And didn't the YEET thing come from the press conference with Jey and Cody?
From what I know, both of the Usos, they've been saying it for however long, but it really took off during that press conference after what was it, Fastlane, I think?
Yeah, it was something like that. They you could tell they had a few drinks before they went up there. It was a funny press conference, I'll say that. Anyway, continue.
No, it's just find something else to say.
Yeah.
You can't say YEET. Who cares?
Yeah.
Figure out something else.
Yeah.
Well, he could say YEET. He just can't exactly go and merchandise it.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's pathetic that people behave that way.
Those people need yeeted.
Yes, they do need yeeted. And they made the list.
Yeah.
The list of the grill out. And I'll leave it there. I try to refrain from making statuses about certain things on social media. I really try to step away because I can be a little animated about certain things, if you can't tell by listening to this podcast from time to time. But when I was informed of that and I looked into it and I saw what certain people were saying, that's uncalled for. That's unacceptable. And to me, you're not a real wrestling fan. If you're listening to this, I don't need your listenership. I don't need your support.
The biggest thing that I took away from it is I was talking to one of my best friends about it. Mm-hmm. And he told me, he said, Jason, listen, I, Sting, do not like Josh Cole. I was like, wait, Sting. What does this have to do with YEET? He said, nothing. I don't like Josh Cole. I was like, why? He said, I just don't like him. So at the end of the day, I think what all three of us are saying is we don't like Josh Cole.
And with that, we're going to end the segment there. Come right back. We're going to do our top 5 favorite wrestlers.
It's time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out, segment 2. I'm your host, Jeff Petty, Hollywood Jeff Petty, Trailer Park Jeff Petty, just Jeff Petty. And I'm also joined by the maestro, Josh Cole, Bebe, Adam Cole's long-lost relative. Adam, we're trying to get y'all to reconnect.
Listen, it's not going to work because Adam Cole messaged me. And he said, hey, I know you all have been trying to get Josh Cole to talk to me, but I, Adam Cole, parentheses, Bebe, close parentheses, hate Josh Cole. Oh my God. And I was like, why? He was like, well, I've been talking to Sting, and Sting told me that I, Sting, parentheses, ER, close parentheses, hate Josh Cole. And he said, Adam Cole looked at Sting and said, well, why do you hate Josh Cole? And he said, well, because I hate Josh Cole. And Adam Cole was like, but why, Sting? Because I, Adam Cole, baby, also hate Josh Cole, not baby. And Sting said, well, Adam Cole, baby, you and I can both agree that we, Sting, and Adam Cole, baby, hate Josh Cole, not baby.
And that long-winded is Jason Lykens.
Hi, everyone.
So the middle segment, it's just something that we, it's random sometimes. Sometimes we do predictions. We do have one more set of predictions to do before the end of the year. That'll be coming up in a couple of weeks.
How many other people will end up hating Josh Cole, not baby?
Not. I think he's effectively changed your name on the podcast, Josh.
You're welcome.
So I figured that we would do something lighthearted here.
Don't worry, I'm going to get you over, kid. I'm going to give you that charisma.
You gotta have, oh my God,
you gotta have that
Clint
charisma.
Clint Bopsky.
Lord.
Oh, I love Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Yeah. Woo tangy, woo crispy. So one thing that like wrestling fans do like to talk about is their favorite wrestlers. And I always like to. I can be very organized at times. I like to have top 5s, not top 10s. That can be a little bit on the brain.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
What? I figured.
What?
No yeet.
That we.
What?
Would go ahead.
What?
And give.
What?
Our.
What?
Top.
What?
5.
What?
Favorite.
What?
Wrestlers.
Who?
What? No, I'm sorry.
Why?
No, I didn't have. Like, I'm not getting any audio in my right ear. So
I don't have it in my right ear.
What did you say? What?
We're going to give our top 5 favorite wrestlers.
What?
Top 5.
Top 5. High five? Like,
High five.
High five.
Yeah.
Okay.
High five.
High five. High five. High five. High five.
Top 5 favorite wrestlers. So whoever wants to go first, and I'll say this: it doesn't have to be a specific, like, one single wrestler. If it's a tag team or a group that you like, you could throw them in there too.
So are we starting at like 5 or 1?
Yeah. Start at 5 and work your way up to 1.
Okay. Well, you wanna go around and each give their top, like their 5th.
I mean,
I don't know what my 5th is.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm trying to right now. What I'm trying to do is ramping.
Okay.
So I'm trying to stretch this out.
Okay.
So I can think because
I'll
this is kind of getting thrown on us because I didn't look at this last night.
I got confused. I thought we were doing like a Mount Rushmore instead of favorites.
Oh yeah, sorry. We'll do a Mount Rushmore plus 1.
Yeah.
No, not so much on Mount Rushmore. Just who do you enjoy watching?
Well, I did enjoy watching Sting, but I don't know.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that you brought up Sting because I was talking to him.
Oh my God! I'll go ahead and give my number 5.
Okay.
My number 5 is. It kind of fluctuates between 4 and 5. My top 3 is pretty solid. Like, they're set in stone. But
it's a long way to throw.
It's not as long-winded as you in the beginning, okay?
What are you talking about?
But number 5 is Bruiser Brody. So we'll start out there.
Okay.
So Bruiser Brody, number 5. I don't know. I don't know why. I was telling Josh last week when we got off the podcast. I'm not the type of person that's like watches the big men wrestle. I'm just like, it's not that I'm not impressed. It's that's not my thing.
You don't like the big sweaty men?
No, I'm not Vince McMahon. I'm not Vinnie Mac. But I like Bruiser Brody. I like the story of Bruiser Brody. I like the aura of Bruiser Brody and what I've watched his matches. They're wild. Him and Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh yeah.
In Puerto Rico. I mean, I've seen the man rip a leg off of a chair and beat another wrestler with it. I don't know.
Lord.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's my number 5 is Bruiser Brody.
Well, I'm also pretty sure that Mark Calloway's first professional match was with Bruiser Brody.
Yep, and he messed up.
Yeah, he tried calling the match.
Yep, and Brody potatoed him.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mark Calloway, so I'm not going to do these in any order because I haven't thought about that, but Undertaker is most definitely in my top 5 favorites.
Top 5? Okay.
Yeah. Just dedication to character, probably one of the greatest characters, if not the greatest character to ever be done in wrestling.
Okay.
One of the most loyal, most respected wrestlers ever, I would say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And pretty good in the ring, too.
Mine's not going to be in any order.
Okay.
I can't figure that out right now.
Hold on. I promise I send this stuff in advance. They just don't read it.
Okay. In fairness, I didn't want to read it. Okay.
He likes to walk in here blind.
Well, when did you send this? Last night?
No. Yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning.
Yes.
Okay. So during the hours of 8 to 4:30, I have a job.
So do I.
So what? We see. I don't do personal things during job time. That is professional time. Where I'm
on the clock. I don't care.
Well, you see, I am also on the clock, and I give 120% to my job every day. So, employer, if you hear this, I'd like a raise.
Give Jason a raise. What's your top? Who's in your top 5?
Okay, so this one we're going to go with Mick Foley. Just all iterations of Mick Foley because I believe he is one of the best character wrestlers that's ever happened. Because any character he does fully commits to it. They have their own individual identity, and just love Mick Foley.
And it doesn't matter which version of it.
Because I loved the anti-hardcore ECW Mick Foley.
That was a good one.
I was a huge fan of Cactus Jack when I was a kid with WCW, where I also saw Sting multiple times.
Okay.
So Mick Foley.
Okay. All right. Mine's actually gonna be in order because I think about this a lot.
Yeah.
I have no life.
No.
Number 4 is Mitsuharu Misawa. Y'all are do y'all know who Misawa is?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't know who Misawa is?
I've heard the name, but I don't really.
So quick background. He is the one of the 4 pillars of All Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, during the Kings Road era of All Japan. It was right after early 90s. Jumbo Sudoto was the Triple Crown champion. Went ahead and dropped it to Misawa, and that's kind of where it all came about. Out of the 4, Misawa is probably the most technical one. I cannot find a single bad match with him. No, if it's a tag match, if it's a singles match, whatever. The style is very dangerous, and it is arguably what led to his death because Kings Road, or Odo, which is what the locals call it, you're basically dumping them on their head. They're taking neck bumps. And so, anyway, yeah, they're taking these neck bumps and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I think the work is just spectacular. And the man also had so much pull behind All Japan that after Giant Baba passed away and his widow was giving Misawa all kinds of grief, Misawa left with everybody, every wrestler in All Japan except for Stan Hansen, who stayed out of loyalty to Giant Baba to create Pro Wrestling Noah. That's why Pro Wrestling Noah is a thing. Because originally it was mainly New Japan and All Japan, and those were a break off of Japan Pro Wrestling, which was Ricky Dozon's thing. Anyway, so number 4, Mitsuharu Misawa.
I think this one's your number 1, Steve Austin.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just he portrayed his character so well. You could get behind what he's saying. He was such a good talker. It's like, even if he said crap, he was good at it.
Yeah. And actually his, you did. Spoiler alert, that is my number 1. Real quick, his sister asked him one time, like, where he come up with all of his stuff, and he goes, I don't know, I just think of it.
Yeah.
He just goes off cuff while he's out there.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, in the early 2000s when they were starting to script him a script one time, he said, yeah, I'm not doing that.
If I could ask Steve any question, like if I could ask him one question, I would ask him and say, okay, so in your opinion, if Stone Cold went against stunning Steve Austin, who would win? Like, just popularity aside, who do you think would win that?
That's an interesting question. Because arguably stunning Steve Austin was more technical.
He was, but it was up until
he got dropped on his head.
Broke his neck.
Yeah.
That he had to completely change his style.
Yeah, and he went to a more brawling style. Yeah. Which also, I think, was it Paul Heyman that said that, I think it was Heyman, that said that Austin's style of brawling in the ring looks like he's actually into a fight.
That's another reason I really like him. Just the fact he's really fighting and stuff.
Yeah,
I like the brawler style too. So
yeah.
So is it safe to assume, Josh, that JBL is in your top 5?
It is not.
Oh, he's not.
No.
Oh.
Is JBL in your top 5?
I don't know yet.
I do like his clothesline from Hell though.
Yeah,
which was inspired from Stan Hansen.
See, if I'm going to put JBL up there, I'm going to put APA because I liked JBL in APA, but I like Ron Simmons a lot more than I like JBL.
So not so much JBL as much as Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be Bradshaw, but I think my next one's going to have to be the Great Muta.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Again, all the stuff with Sting. No, it's just, I mean, you've got the Muta blood scale. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you've got that from him. I don't know if I've ever seen a bad Muta match.
True. Also, when Muta went over to All Japan, well, he was already kind of doing this while he was towards the end of his New Japan run. His knees were shot from doing that moonsault for years. That's where he came up with the Shining Wizard.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
Didn't he popularize misting?
sort of. That came from the great Kabuki. Am I?
Well, I think a lot of people have been doing misting prior to, because if you have like spritz bottles and you get really hot outside, you can mist your face. And
Fair enough.
yeah, and I think people have been spraying things for many, many years, Josh. I see why Sting hates you.
I just to add on to the misting thing with the Great Muta, he's the only person that would do. He would take the two fingers and put it right underneath his chin on his neck.
Yeah.
And that was like showing the character Muda was prepping to miss somebody. Yeah. But he's the only person I've ever seen do that.
Yeah, it's funny because whenever I miss someone, I never put my fingers like under my chin. I just feel it in my heart that I miss them.
It's a hard thing to do.
It is.
Okay, so
I missed it a lady one time.
Number 3. Number 3. Kenny Omega. I don't know if I've got to say a whole lot. Like, I can't. I don't want to make this a big long thing, but Kenny is one of them that's set in stone for me. I said last week about the Okada matches because that's where I first saw Kenny. I've always enjoyed his work. I like his finisher, the one-winged angel. Yes, it's a little complicated to set up, but that's the whole point of it, and the fact that it is such a protected move. And I'm not going to say it publicly. I may one day, but there is a personal reason why I'm such a Kenny fan. I'll just say there was a certain point in my life. You both know this. There's a certain point in my life personally where I was not sure of myself. I'll say that. And Kenny's storytelling helped me cope with that. And that's just where I'll leave it.
Was it the part in your life where your brother shook his hand and held on to him so that you could come up and get a picture and Kenny was trying to get away?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't
okay.
that.
Okay.
And then Kenny, if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry for that. Yeah. I did tell my brother, I'm like, man, you almost killed the territory by doing that. Because they didn't come back for a while.
No, they didn't.
No, I was like, man, you almost killed the territory by doing that. And he got a little excited. Anyway, yeah, number 3 for me is Kenny Omega. Josh?
I'm going to go with the NWO as a whole. Well.
So all 58 members.
Yeah. I would say.
What a cop-out answer. I'm going to go with WCW. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with the entirety of the NWA. Yeah, that's going to be mine. No, okay, so the NWA.
I would say probably original 3, obviously, but maybe like with Big Show or Giant in there at the time, X-Pac, a few others. But just, I mean, who didn't want to be in the NWA at that time?
Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Instinct.
Actually, real quick, that reminds me. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I have to go grab something. It's for you, Jason.
Oh.
Just.
It's an NWO shirt.
It is.
It's not.
Probably 5 sizes too small.
Just y'all go ahead and continue. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I guess it also helps that when I started watching wrestling, NWO was like at its peak of popularity.
Yeah.
It was cool to be bad at that time.
But you see, I think that's also one thing that kind of hurt the wrestling business in itself is because then it's just like babyface heel where you cheered the babyface, you booed the heel. I mean, the NWO made it cool to be a heel.
Yeah.
But then you still had the babyfaces acting like just kind of corny babyfaces. Like, so, there was that. But I think my next one is going to have to be Ultimo Dragon.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Few reasons for that. One, the N64 game, NWO, WCW versus the World. Ultimo Dragon was my go-to guy. That's who I always went with. When I was watching wrestling, I didn't think there was anything cooler than seeing someone come out with 10 title belts on them.
That's the original, the OG belt collector.
Like, you may be cool, but are you 10 title belt cool? Like, I was a huge fan of Ultimo Dragon. When he came to WWE, I was super excited and then got super let down.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Ultimo Dragon is in my top 5.
Top 5. Okay. Number 2 for me.
The Rock?
No, it's not The Rock.
Triple H.
I respect The Rock. No, it's not Triple H.
Hulk Hogan.
Not even close.
Oh.
I'm not a fan of Hogan.
If we did a Rushmore, I would actually put Hogan on.
Yeah, for his impact to professional wrestling and how much he helped, yes, I would put it up there. But as a person, absolutely not.
I was listening to a podcast with Hulk Hogan, and did you know that he himself inspired Mount Rushmore?
Oh, he did.
He did. And Sting hates Josh Cole.
Of course. Okay, so
not Bebe.
number 2 for me would be Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
I've always why
don't you just go like Josh and just put in the entire Guerrero family?
No.
And all 28 Von Erichs?
All 28 Von Erichs. Might as well just put the LWO in there.
Yeah.
And including the current iteration of it.
Yeah.
But we're going blanket statement. We're going to put no.
Okay.
No, I like Eddie. Eddie is one of the most unique talents.
He's got a great son in Dominic.
Yes, he has an amazing son, Dominic, who is doing well for himself in WWE right now. But Eddie is one of the most unique talents I've ever seen in the ring. His cheating stuff is the most creative thing in the world. And I was a kid, I would pop all the time. And I remember being because we had a backyard wrestling league promotion sort of, and I would do the Eddie chair spot all the time.
Okay.
Like where, refs groggy, getting up, and I just smack it off of something and throw it to somebody and act like I just got hit, because it was amazing. And going back as an adult, Eddie is another one of those. You can't find a bad man. The man knew how to work. He knew how to go.
Yeah.
And he had so many different ways of going about it. It was amazing. And also, I will say this: the top 3 I have a personal attachment to. The reason why Eddie I have such a personal attachment towards him is because it was hard in 2005 when Eddie did pass away, because I used him sort of as an escape, because in 2005 that's when my dad passed away. So watching Eddie on SmackDown was a good way for me to escape all of that. And I was an Eddie fan before that, but I really, really became a fan after that. And also when he went through his heel run, I felt like I was the only person at what was called the Civic Center at the time, the Charleston Coliseum. I felt like I was the only one in the building that had an Eddie Guerrero shirt on. So yeah, got a chance to see him a couple months before he passed. So yeah, tossing off over to Josh now.
I'm not 100% sure if he would be included on this had more time to think about it, but connected to Eddie Guerrero, I'm going to think maybe Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
If you were to mold a perfect wrestler, he's basically that in terms of shape-wise anyways. He is a good wrestler, too, when he wants to be.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I like the brawler style. And he brings that form of legitimacy that sometimes you're like, is he crossing the line there sometimes? But yeah, just that brawler style, that crossing over the legitimacy from where he was in UFC, and just the persona of him, like that larger than life persona.
Yeah, I mean he's a genetic freak.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is a genetic freak. There's no reason why somebody should look like that.
Well, I mean, there is.
I know there is, but in hindsight,
his daughter's starting to look like that too.
Yeah, his daughter is a freak athlete.
Yes, she looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
She just broke the shot put record.
The indoor shot put record.
Yeah.
Yep. At Colorado, was it Colorado State? Is that where she at?
I think so.
Yeah, that's been making the rounds. So
freak athlete.
Also, Frank Mir's daughter is in college right now doing college sports, and people are like, we want to see Lesnar Mir 3 except with them. So anyway, Jason.
William Regal.
Oh, good.
Whether it's William Regal or Lord Steven Regal or even the real man's man, Steven Regal.
William Regal, one of the greatest wrestlers to never win the world title.
Yes. For me, solely based off of his facial expressions in the ring. Just an absolute amazing seller.
And the camera does not do it justice. William Regal's a big dude.
Oh, he is a big man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember my friend telling me when he met William Regal one time. He's like, you would not believe how big his chest is.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's like just because it's because he's around all these other bigger guys, so he looks smaller. He's like, the camera does not do him justice.
Well, it's like looking at Scott Hall next to Kevin Nash. You know, he doesn't look like a massive guy, but then you see Scott Hall by himself, and the guy's, what, like 6'6"?
Yeah, something like that. 6'6", 6'7".
He's a big guy.
He was a big guy. That was another guy that was,
What happened to Scott Hall?
Hold on. And we're back. We had to explain, Josh, what happened to Scott Hall. Man, y'all really got to do your research and read the stuff that I'm sending y'all.
I don't know if you all ever saw it, but in NWA, whenever he was just big Scott Hall, did you all ever see him then?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I was alive.
How old are you?
33.
Yeah, you might not have been. Okay, but I'm going to give you homework really quick. Look it up sometime. He has the most amazing mustache.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like, big Scott Hall, this massive mustache.
Was that when he was running around with Kurt Hennig?
Yes.
Okay, I know exactly. He did.
Yes.
He had a majestic mustache.
It was like a 1980s porn mustache.
Yeah, like it was straight up a Tom Selleck mustache.
Yes, it was.
It was definitely with the
And
times.
Josh is looking it up now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
He
Yeah.
is. Okay.
Okay.
My number one, Josh has already said it, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
I love Steve Austin. Anything to do with Steve Austin,
What?
Anything.
What?
Whether it's Broken Skull Ranch,
Okay. What?
whether it's the Broken Skull Challenge,
What?
the Steve Austin show,
What?
whatever DVD he's a part of.
What?
Just Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stunning Steve Austin, Superstar Steve Austin, anything, Ringmaster. If it's Steve Austin, I'm there. The Ringmaster is the weakest of all of them, but it was Steve Austin. I didn't care.
Yeah.
Exactly. It lasts for a month?
Something like that. Yeah, and then the story behind how he got this. Do y'all know the story about how he came up with Stone Cold, the name?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I remember
But
hearing it. I just can't
Josh
remember
doesn't,
right
so tell him.
Okay, so
And
real
tell
quick.
the listener.
Yeah.
Yes. So real quick, the reason why he did come up because he did not like being the ringmaster. So he went up to Vince. He's like, I need a change. I need a change.
Wasn't it Deborah who called him Stone Cold or something? Like
No, it was Jeannie, his second wife.
Okay.
Because he did not. So he was watching an HBO special about Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman, and he's like, he liked that. He didn't. He's like, the way he put it, I never endorsed what my gear spinning in my head. So he sent the office that name, the idea. So they start sending him these temperature-based names like Fang McFrost, Otto Von Ruthless, Ice Dagger. Those are the three most infamous ones. His wife at the time, Jeannie, comes in, hands him makes him a cup of hot tea, and it's just sitting there. And she said he's thinking and thinking and thinking, and she goes, well, why don't you drink your tea before it becomes Stone Cold? And she goes, that's your name, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And
Okay.
as they say, the rest is history.
Really quick. Just picture this, okay?
Okay.
Picture Stone Cold Steve Austin sitting in a living room. Not like a hunting lodge living room, but like a British style living room. Okay, his British wife brings him a cup of tea of just English black tea.
Yep.
Not in a mug, but in a teacup it's like a white teacup with the blue flowers along the trim on a saucer. And he's like, I'm going to drink my tea now. Leave me alone so I can drink my tea. And then he just sips his tea. He's like, babe, that's a good cup of tea.
What?
What? I'd like some tea. What? I'm thirsty. What? I'd like one lump of sugar. What? I'd like some milk. What? No lemon. What? Because then it's going to curdle the milk. What? It's good tea. What?
Oh, I love it. I love it. But I will say
That's what I imagine happened.
But I will say with Steve Austin, it's another personal attachment. It's just, I was a kid. It was an escape for me. One of my earliest memories of professional wrestling was the beer truck.
Yeah.
And it was on my birthday in 1999. March 22nd, 1999 is when the beer truck happened, and that's why I specifically remember it. Plus, there's pictures somewhere, my mom has them, of me at 3 years old like right as Stone Cold got hot in '98, with my two brothers who were born in '98, my twin brothers, and I have a Stone Cold T-shirt.
And you
on.
stunned both of them.
Oh, I did. I did.
The newborn twins.
Yes, I did.
As soon as they popped out, you went, what? And just stunned them.
I not only stunned them, I Luthez pressed them.
Okay.
Yeah, and just wailed down with the right hands.
And just someone came out of nowhere and said, by God, he has a family.
And then my family is wondering why Jim Ross is in the living room.
I wouldn't. I'd just accept it.
I would too. Okay, Josh, you've mentioned him before on the podcast.
I might have to take him off the list, though. I don't know. He might make the list of the other list.
Who is it?
It's that guy.
Hold on.
What?
Hello? Yeah, I can tell him. Sure thing, Steve. Yeah. So that was my buddy Steve.
Not Austin.
No, not Austin. He told me to tell you that Sting, quote, what was it? I don't like that guy, end quote. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Blade Runner Flash.
There you go. There you go.
Mr. Jim Justice Hellwig's tag team partner.
There you go.
Originally in '85.
Oh, he's the original Jim Justice.
What?
Jim Hellwig is
the
original Jim Justice.
Yeah.
I wonder if they called him Big Jim.
Big Jim.
Mr. Sting, yeah. Mr. Steve Borden.
Yeah.
The
he doesn't like you.
I know. I was a little stinger when I was a kid too, man. Wolfpack Sting, to be exact.
It's the red face paint and all.
Yeah.
So, do you remember like Surfer Sting at all?
Nope.
Wow.
I didn't start watching until like late 90s.
Wow. Okay. I remember in mine and my brother's bedroom, we had a big poster of Surfer Sting.
Wow.
I still have that somewhere.
Do you?
Yeah.
That would be an interesting thing to. If you ever find that, I just want to say it. Just in a picture.
Yeah.
I would definitely. I like old stuff like that.
Well, and it was like a cloth poster.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Like.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
My millennial brain just kind of exploded on that one.
Here in a moment, I will look on my phone to see if I can find a picture of what it looked like.
Okay. So Josh, Sting, Jason,
Bobby Blaze.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not Bobby Blaze,
Oh.
Who is it?
but it should be.
Should be Bobby Blaze.
It should
You're
be
a Blaze
Bobby
head.
Blaze. Yes. I mean, anytime I would go there, I would blaze it, and he would come out at the WCW house shows that he was never at, and I would be like, "Hey, that's Bobby Blaze," and everyone would be like, "Who?" And I'd be like, "The Ultimate Jobber, Bobby Blaze." Okay, so to round out my top 5, I'm really torn on this one because I have like 8 people to put in my top 5.
Do you want me to help you?
Is the baddie on this?
Funny enough, it's not Jesse Ventura. It's not. It's not. Is that what you were going to say, Jeff?
No.
Okay, what were you going to say?
No. This was actually something I gave Josh. Okay, real quick. I ordered a bunch of wrestling stickers.
Okay.
And I pulled out of the pile to give to you and Josh.
Okay.
And I gave Josh some Sting ones.
Okay.
And I have one here for you, so I'm just going to slide it to you.
Okay. Okay.
Oh my.
Hold on. I'm not looking yet. Okay? Have I got it? And listen, ain't nobody finer than Scotty Steiner. Funny enough, I loved the Steiner brothers.
Really?
Yeah. Growing up, my brother and I, we were huge fans of the Steiner brothers, of the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, and I just completely forgot the other ones. We were huge fans of them, so we forgot.
Oh, well.
Yeah. No, Steiners, Legion of Doom, the Rockers.
Oh, okay.
Really liked Rock and Roll Express.
Okay. Midnight Express?
We didn't like Midnight Express.
Okay. Well, yeah, around that they were heels.
Yeah. But I think I'm gonna have to go Shawn Michaels
Ooh, okay.
in my top 5.
Okay.
See, I have like 7 others now where I'm like, I feel bad, because it's a toss up between like Shawn Michaels, Kurt Hennig, Lance Storm, Bret Hart, Coco Beware.
Hall of Famer. Coco Beware.
The reason why I like Coco Beware is because he was one of my first favorites that I liked as a kid, because he came out with flashy music, flashy clothes, and he had a bird. Who's not going to like that? He had a bird.
He also had a cool name.
Yeah, Coco Beware.
Yeah, that's a clever name.
Yeah, and then High Energy with Owen Hart.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot about that.
And then, Coco left and Jim Neidhart came in, and they were the new foundation with the very 90s outfit. Come on.
Very 90s.
I mean, and also Vader. I was a huge Vader fan.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Vader time.
It is. Top 5 is tough for me.
So you're going with Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, I think so.
Going to go with the Heartbreak Kid?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't mean to catch y'all off guard, and this segment went way longer. This segment went way longer than I was expecting, but I wanted to do something rather lighthearted. For once on the podcast. So that's our top 5 wrestlers, top 5 favorite wrestlers, whatever. Next segment we're going to have on this day in wrestling history and the main event. So stay tuned.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the final third of the Grill Out. We're going to be kind of short on this one. We went long in the previous segment. I'm your host, Jeff Petty, Hollywood Jeff Petty, Trailer Trash Jeff Petty, White Trash Jeff Petty. I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah.
You say not to make fun of you, but then you just kind of make fun of yourself.
That's the point. That is the whole point of the joke. That was Josh Cole, not Bebe. His name effectively got changed during this podcast. And then over here is Jason. We're going to have a poll put out on whether we like him or not. Lykens.
So it's a Vince Russo match now. Jason on a pole.
Jason on a pole match. Right. No, we're actually going to have a Judy Bagwell.
As long as you don't go backstage punching people in faces.
It's 2023. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But
you can't do that, ladies and gentlemen.
But they were doing it in 2022. Okay, with that, the whole CM Punk thing saying the 2023, there was a meme that went out last night. It was like, it was that quote, and then it was like, people in 2022, and it's CM Punk swinging on somebody. So, I mean, that's one way to get out of a NDA or work around one.
Yeah. It was Kevin Owens, man.
What is it?
He was talking about Kevin Owens. I don't know.
Yeah. within the WWE universe, within WWE canon. So, on this day in wrestling history, December 10th, 1972, Ric Flair makes his professional wrestling debut in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. Flair wrestles George Gadeski to a time limit draw.
Yeah, I was there for that.
You were?
No.
You were? I don't know. I had nothing there. There is actually a lot of interesting things that happened on this day in wrestling history. Yeah. That's one of them. Ric Flair's debut, December 10th, 1972.
Did anything happen in 1973?
I'm glad you asked that.
Oh.
December 10th, 1973, Bruno Sammartino beats Stan Stasiak at Madison Square Garden, New York City, to win his second WWF championship. He became the first man to win the belt on more than one occasion.
Worldwide.
Now, do you know who Stan Stasiak beat?
Oh, who was it? Was it Bruno? No, it wasn't Bruno.
No.
Who was it? Billy Graham. Was it Billy Graham? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't Billy Graham. Who was it?
Do you know, Josh?
Pedro?
Yeah, it was indeed Pedro.
Oh.
Now, but who did Pedro beat?
Sammartino. No, he beat Ivan Koloff.
Nikita.
Now,
who did Nikita beat?
Sammartino.
There you go.
Okay. Nikita only held it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He was just a transitional, literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
They didn't want to put that heat on Pedro, basically.
Heels around that time were they were just transitional champions. I mean, look at the Iron Sheik when he, was between Bob Backlund and Hulk Hogan. Yeah. Also,
I was there for that.
Did San Martino win the belt from was it Buddy Rogers?
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Rogers was
held it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, he was the first champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then it went to San Martino. He had it for several years.
You know why he's first champion?
Huh?
You know why he's the first champion?
Why?
Well, he was the NWA champion.
He was.
And that whole situation there is why the WWF was formed.
Yes.
Oh.
Because back then, NWA title, the matches were supposed to be, or at least claimed to be, supposed to be 2 out of 3 falls matches. But Lou Thesz beat Buddy Rogers for the NWA title in a 1-fall match. So Vince Sr. and the whole CWC, they disputed that, and they said, screw you, NWA. They left NWA, became WWF. They named Buddy Rogers Knockout champion. They say he won a tournament, which that tournament never happened. But
No, so Pat Patterson with the Intercontinental title.
Well, but he won that tournament down in Brazil.
Yeah, Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, I was there. I saw it happen.
Antonino Rocca. That's who he beat.
I was there.
Living La Vida Loca.
Yeah.
I am Pat Patterson.
Okay. December 10th, 2000. WWE held their Armageddon pay-per-view at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center in Birmingham, Alabama. The main event was the first and only 6-man Hell in a Cell match with the WWF Championship on the line. Kurt Angle successfully defended the title against Stone Cold Steve Austin, Rikishi, The Rock, The Undertaker, and Triple H. The match was perhaps most famous for Undertaker choke-slamming Rikishi from the top of the cell onto a heavily padded flatbed truck. Elsewhere on the card, Edge and Christian won the WWF Tag Team Championship in a fatal 4-way tag team match against the Dudley Boys, Road Dogg and K-Quick, also R-Truth, and Right to Censor, which consisted of Bull Buchanan and, not the Godfather, the Good Father.
Okay. Choke slam is not what happened. He pushed him. He pushed him from his throat. Like a choke slam, your feet leave the ground, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Like what he did was just, and then push him. Like,
I wouldn't want to be chokeslammed off the top of the cage.
well, neither would I, but I'd be okay being pushed,
No,
especially onto a heavily padded flatbed truck.
yeah, in parentheses, heavily padded.
Because, if Rikishi can withstand it,
Anybody can.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they put down, because I've pulled these off of a website. They put down the Godfather. It's the Good Father.
It is.
Because he was in Right to Censor.
And also, I think the correct term, instead of choke slamming, would be yeeted.
Yeeting, yes.
Yeet. To yeet.
Yeet.
Having been yeeted, the process of yeeting.
He shall yeet
Yes.
off the hell in the
He
cell
hath
cage.
been yeeted.
December 10th, 2012.
Yeah.
Final thing on this day in wrestling history. Japanese wrestling icon Kenta Kobashi announced he would retire in 2013. Kenta Kobashi is 1/4 of the 4 pillars of All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yep.
As to what
I'm the other 3/4. Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
I was there. I would know.
The
I
bad-
was alive in 2013. Were you?
Yes. I was graduating high school in 2013.
I had already graduated high school 12 times. Yep.
He's like, I got so bored, I just did it again.
Yep. I was a frogman in Guantanamo. Yep. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
So who are the baddies top 5?
The baddies top 5, it's going to be me, and Billy Graham, also known as me. Yep.
Yeah, because basically your gimmick was
He stole it from me.
your gimmick came from Billy Graham.
Yep. The sweet and sour, too cheap to be power. You see, I know all the catchphrases.
Oh,
I
that
ain't got
was-
time to bleed.
He doesn't. That was on this day in wrestling history.
Yep.
Just to wrap everything up, we have the main event, which is just us giving you a preview to the upcoming week in professional wrestling.
I
Everything
hurt
is.
my hand.
I'm sorry. Everything is pretty well the same this week.
Next Saturday, this Saturday coming up, ACW, Appalachian Championship Wrestling, they have a show in Scott Depot.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because I try my best to find out what local shows is going on. Even though I do have one wrote down on here, I just wanted to bring it up. But do you have any details on that, or I'm looking?
Not right off the top of my head. That can look pretty big.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up on the computer right now. ACW, yes, Saturday, December 16th, noon.
Oh yeah.
At the ACW compound. I don't know where that's at.
Well, it's in Scott Depot.
Yeah.
Is it in Scott Depot?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
What's it called? The ACW compound?
Yeah. It's bell time noon at the ACW compound. I don't know exactly where that's at. They're going to have Shane Douglas there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's pretty big with ACW.
Yeah, he does. He comes in quite. Yeah, they are in Scott Depot. It will be located in Scott Depot. So yeah, that'll be this Saturday. ACW live pro wrestling. They'll have Shane Douglas there. So,
now, does he actually wrestle?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I went to their show back in October. It was at the Barnyard, and it was at a Barnyard in Winfield. And he was in a tag match there.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And also it looks like, what is this? They also have they also got a show the night before, Friday, December 15th. It is Running with the Devil. Bell time is at 7:30. Meet and greet at 6:30. They're going to have.
You see, I'd go to it if they had Rhino there.
They do have Rhino there.
Well, I'll be.
Yep, they have Rhino, Heath, and Shane Douglas will also be there. This will be located in Oak Hill, West Virginia, at the Oak Hill Middle School.
Oh.
Heath is the current ASW champion.
He is the current ASW
Doesn't
champion.
really show up.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then also locally, this one's a couple weeks out, but ASW is doing their New Year's Rockin' Eve on December 31st at 6 o'clock.
Express gonna be there.
What is it?
Rock and Roll Express will be there.
Yep. Also, Jimmy Hart.
His birthday.
It's going to be Jimmy Hart's birthday?
Yeah, they're going. Well, I don't know if that's the exact day, but they're celebrating his birthday.
Oh, okay. Good for that. They will be in Williamson.
Yeah, baby, I'm going to be there, baby. Yeah.
Williamson, West Virginia, at the Williamson Memorial Field House. But as far as your television professional wrestling this week, it's
his birthday is on New Year's. So.
Oh, okay. Well, they will
baby New Year, baby. Yeah, baby.
Monday Night Raw. Tuesday will be NXT. Wednesday Dynamite. Thursday will be Ring of Honor and Impact. Friday will be Rampage and SmackDown, and then Saturday, of course, will be Collision. And that's your schedule for professional wrestling. Not just for this week, but we went ahead and threw a show out there for you to look forward to in the next couple of weeks. Go out and support independent wrestling. So yes.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Is there anything else either of y'all want to add?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, Josh.
I don't know why Sting hates me.
We'll get to the bottom of that. That's going to do it for us. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go like the Facebook page and email us, thegrillout95@gmail.com. Tell us about the show. Tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you don't like about the show.
Tell us when we're telling lies.
Yes, tell us when we're telling lies.
Tell us that you hate Josh Cole, too.
We're going to make merchandise. Until next time, everybody. See ya.
Goodbye, and good night, back.